On the house, where the stars align, we build our nests on rocky cliffs. Each dawn a new mystery begins, a journey to the heart of things. Beyond the house.
Yo, what is up, Wolf Gang? And welcome to Beyond the How podcast. Today's the 6th episode, and we are here with my cousin Chuck.
I hope they can see me all right, can they?
They can see you.
All right, good.
So,
How's everybody's morning?
we got mics, we got a phone stand, and this is the setup for today. I had to come to them, so it's a whole nother place. So my dad has told me millions of stories about you and your family and how your side of the family's crazy. So I'm sure you got some good stories.
Oh, I got some real good stories. They just got them all on me saying I'm crazy, but there is some crazy stories, all right. And I can start with a lot of them. You know, growing up in Bloomfield, me and my brothers was called the Bloomfield Boys.
Okay.
And so we used to get in a lot of trouble. We lived right off of Nesbitt Drive out there on Emerson Circle. And come Friday and Saturday nights, that was the night to get out. Well, I've had several stories of getting out. I took my girlfriend that lived out in Shorrington. I took her out one night and borrowed the lady's car down the street from me. And I was coming out of the fairgrounds, and I bumped her car, and it hit some kind of big pole and made a dent in it. Well, I got back to the house, and I parked the car in the driveway, and I told her, I said, I come in, and I told her, I said, I got something bad to tell you, and I hit your car. And she said, no, I'm not worried about the car. I'm worried about you. Come in here and sit. I sit on her sofa, and then she laid my head down in my lap, in her lap, and all of a sudden, she looked at Tubby with my eyes and everything, and she was like the same age as my mama. And she looked at me and she said, it's up to you. You want to go in the bedroom, or do you want to stay right here? Please. I know he probably ain't never told you this one. Well,
Okay.
Go ahead.
One thing first, okay? So as you can already tell, his stories are extravagant, hard to believe sometimes.
Right.
I do got his ex-wife here to
Well, she knows all about it because it was,
to kind of verify the stories, because his stories are very out there. So yeah, go on to the next story.
Well, you want me to tell the rest of this one, or we'll go to the next?
Let's go on to the next one. Can I ask you a question first? Okay.
You want to hear some more stories? Because I can get, me and my brothers used to be put around Durr's skating ring where we'd get dropped off, but we wouldn't go straight in Durr's skating ring. We would stop at the store and go behind it and drink at least a 6-pack before we went skating. I think Mr. Durr's knew that, but we was always getting in trouble there. I remember when I took a girl and she said her daddy and them come and dropped her off, and then we got in my little Maverick car and drove off and didn't get back to the skating ring till about 11:30, and we were supposed to get back by 11 because they closed so her parents would pick her up. And I got chewed out there and, by the girl, but we was always having fun, and it wasn't like today. We were just always having some fun, but we always got in trouble about it. But go ahead and start on them questions. Sorry, I'm living now in like a retirement home, and I'm so bored. I retired now, and I am so bored. I don't have really nothing to do. I'm really looking for a companionship. So anybody out there that's got a mama, or if you're a son and your mama's bored, tell her to give me a call. I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to give you my phone number at the end of the show. So if you could do that, I'd appreciate it. All right, go ahead.
Okay, as you can see, he's a talker, and I don't know why, but he was highly requested So, of course, I brought him to the podcast because he was highly requested. All right, let's get on to the questions. What is the dumbest thing you've ever done?
Oh, I got a lot of them. Let me pick one of them out. Well, I used to work in a restaurant, but I don't know if I need to tell you this or not. I've worked in a lot of restaurants, but the stupidest thing I've done is, I had a lady come in and order a pimento and cheese sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she said, Chuck, I love all the food you do. I do it, and everything. Well, I didn't have no damn pimentos. So what I had to do was I went back there and took every little pimento out of every pimento. And I made that woman her pimento and cheese. But that's always something I like to do is please people. And I didn't have it that day, so that's something stupid I did. And that was back in the 70s, back at Davis Brothers Cafeteria on Chambers Road. I know a lot of people know about it, but that was really the stupidest thing. But I always like to please people. And then I went to work for Morris's Cafeteria. I've worked in restaurants all my life, so go ahead and pop me another one there.
Tell us a time where you got into serious trouble. I'm sure you got a lot
serious troubles. When I started, I was going out to clubs like Archie's and Whiskey River, and I would hit them every Friday and Saturday night. But then I had to start driving home and stuff, and really, my really big thing was back in in '83, I got my first DUI, and I was just going back to that first story about me taking that woman's car back, I was only 16. And let me go ahead and tell that while I'm on it.
Okay.
I was only 16. I borrowed the lady's car. I come in, I laid down on the thing, and she said, you want to go in the bedroom or do you want to just stay right here? Well, me being 16, I wanted to act big and bad, so I went in the bedroom with her and stripped buck naked. Okay, when I did that, her kids drove up, and they come in there, and one of them come in there and looked at me, and he told me to get the out of there. So I got up, and they wouldn't let me get my clothes on. They just pushed me right on out the door, and I was buck naked out there on the sidewalk. And so I just come on, busted the window, and got my clothes back on, and they called the police. So when they called the police, they come, and the policeman that come had knew me, and he said, sit right here, Chuck. And so I sit there, but when he went in, I got in the police car and took off in it. And really they were after me. I was intoxicated. I drunk Canadian Mist and Sprite all night. And so when I was driving, I was going, I need more backup out here at Emerson Circle. And they said, who is this on here? You need to get off. And so I was pulling people over and having fun. And when I come back around Emerson Circle, there they were, 12 police cars. And they were ready. And as soon as I got out, they just put me against the car, arrested me. And I was charged. Now, look, nowadays you steal a police car, you was charged with a lot. But they charged me with 3 disorderly conducts. It was Judge Philip Taylor, I believe. And could you cut that off, please? And it was Philip Taylor. And he let me off pretty good because I was 16. They didn't put it was on the front page the next morning in the newspaper, and it said, man dispatches police car radio. They didn't put my name in there because I was underage, but that was good. So, but that's the most trouble I got into, and I got another DUI after that. But I haven't done that no more. I don't drink anymore, so I've cut back a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm. And that story is verified for people. Yeah. That's verified by his ex-wife, his name, or his.
People know it. People know it. They know about it.
Yeah, it was already in the newspaper, so that story is 100% true. What was your nickname growing up?
They always called me Chucky.
Mm-hmm.
And Chucky was my name. Um, we traveled all around the world. When my dad was in the Marine Corps, and he retired Sergeant Major. And then we got stationed back here. We were back here in Macon, and I went to school here. But we traveled a lot. But when I get back, I went to school in high school. Then I did go to high school in Birmingham, see my dad. So my parents were separated. But I enjoyed most of my life. But I was a wild party animal then. But now I'm slowed down, looking for a companion.
You've already mentioned that.
Okay, go ahead.
Childhood memories you never forget.
Or when my brother, me and him used to cut up all together. We hung around. He passed away in 2016. But we was always together. We traveled together when my parents was, traveling. Well, me and him would play jokes on each other. Well, the childhood memory is we'd take baths, together when we were kids. And this is what I done. I went in the bathroom and turned the hot water completely on hot water. And I let the thing fill it with scalding hot water. And then I went to my brother and I said, all right, brother. I said, Ricky, we're going to have that race tonight to the tub. And we're going to see who gets in it the fastest. Well, we started running the thing. We got our clothes off. And he jumps in first. Comes out like I don't know what crazy because it scalded, excuse my language, it scalded him so bad. And I got third-degree whips from my parents for doing that. But I remember it so good. And then the other ones, now that was just one, was when my grandparents was hanging up pictures in the living room. I remember it so well. And my grandparents had just bought a brand new TV 3 days ago. And what I done was, I seen the hammer sitting there. While they were putting pictures up and looking, trying to shape them up, get them all right, my butt goes over there, picks up the hammer, and just busts the whole tube out of the brand new TV. Now, I got whippings from 4 people that day. My grandma, my granddaddy, it was just terrible. Well, my grandma was the kind of lady was when I was outside and she'd try to get me, I would wet her with a hose. But I remember she'd go in the house, put on a raincoat, and she was out there after me, turning it off. And then I'd climb a tree or whatever. Then my granddaddy would come out and he said, boy, I'm fixed to put you on a new suit of clothes, which a new suit of clothes was about 8 switches put together with a rubber band, and he called it his double barrel shotgun, and he was putting me on a new suit of clothes, which he meant stripes on my legs, and that's what he meant. It was very, rough, But some of the stories I did, my grandparents had just come back in, my granddaddy and uncles had just went bird hunting. Well, here I am. I'm probably 7 or 8. I stick them all up with a shotgun. My granddad hadn't emptied them yet. The shells were still in them. And I got the whole family in the dining room holding them hostage with a shotgun. That one too. Excuse my language again. I don't cuss much and I hate cussing. So, especially when they put the G-O-D in the word, I can't stand people doing that. But, go ahead and get into the whatever other question.
Well, my dad told me a story. I want to see if this is true about either your mom or your grandmother putting alcohol in baby bottles and giving it to y'all.
I don't remember it, but I've heard about this. I heard about them putting beer in my brother's bottle, and she gave him beer. But that's about,
Was it for all of them, Mama, or was it?
Mama's not in this. She don't know if she wants to come in here and talk.
Your ex-wife, is that true?
Oh, she didn't put liquor. She put beer in there, probably.
Was it beer or liquor? Okay, well,
Yeah.
it was beer.
Right. Good. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that ain't gonna hurt nobody, and that was baby, a little baby. I mean, what? Don't start me on that either.
Okay, let's change the subject.
Okay.
Family traditions you like?
Well, I don't have much of them no more because I'm divorced. But I like the family traditions when you get the whole family together and you eat, you play horseshoes. You have a good day, and everybody stays together, and that's the only thing I like. I mean, I don't even have to have a present for Christmas. I like everybody to be together and happy. You see everybody happy.
Yeah.
So,
Worst date you ever been on? Tell that story.
she's like, why you ask so many? I see. I got several for them, but
Okay, well, pick 2 or 3 of them out and talk about it.
let me see. Oh, I know one. Well, this is how it happened. This was out in Byron too, a little trailer park. I won't say no names. Well, the day she said, "Honey, I want you to fix me some peppered steak and bring to the office, and the girls want to eat some of it and try your peppered steak you make." I said, "Of course, I'll do that." And so she went to work. She worked on the base, and that day I got in a rough start anyway. I got up around probably 10:30, and I was supposed to be at the lunch place at 1 o'clock with pepper steak. Well, being Chuck Boggs that I was, I stopped by a place called Teasers. I don't know if any. Well, I'll explain it. It was a where the girls dance, and you could drink in there. So I said, I'll stop right here before I go to the store to get the steak and bell peppers and onions and cook and take out. Well, I stopped there at Teasers. I got in there at Teasers and I drank a couple drinks and I said, I'm not going to, well, the girls sit with me at the table. All of a sudden I started having lap dances, and all of a sudden I was so tore up. I said, I got to get to the house. I called her from a telephone booth, and I told her, look, I ain't going to be able to come today. So I got to her house and opened the door, and I got in there and I put a pizza in the oven. I remember this, and I was running me some bath water. Well, I put the pizza in, running bath water, and then I went and laid down in the bed. Well, all of a sudden, I wake up to a smoky trailer, and the floor was flooded, and it had so much water in it. The fireman was outside. They opened the door, and the water just run out, and the smoke was coming out, and I was going, oh, Lord, I got to get out of here, because that girl, when she got to the house, her mom and dad drove over there that night. I had to get out of there. I head back, it was here in mine. I head back to Macon to my mom's. But that was another bad thing. That was so rough, I can remember that was a doozy. What other questions you got for me today?
If you could meet a celebrity, who would it be?
I've met several of them.
Oh, who have you met?
Well, I was in Albuquerque, New Mexico at the casino, and I met Morgan Freeman. I didn't even know that was him at first, and then we started talking, and I told him what movie I liked. He done that God. He was God in one of those movies, and then I didn't even have a phone with me. That's when I didn't even I started getting a phone. My aunt said, "You got to get a phone. You got to get with the times," and I didn't have one. And he said he was playing golf there, and he told me to be good, just like he said the movie, on that movie. But there's several of them that I've seen. But there was somebody that bought meats from me, and I'm trying to. It's two brothers. They're really, but I didn't forgot their names. Wilbur or something like that. Was it Walbur? Well, one of them come and bought meats from me when I worked the meat department at Smith's out in Mexico. So, but yeah, But I've done like I said, I'm about ready. I'm settled down now. I've moved in a little senior place. She thinks I'm funny because I'm talking about this.
It keeps going round and around and around.
Oh well,
You done
I'm
mentioned it 3
nervous
times.
too, but I got to let them know that if I don't let now listen, I'm telling you, girls that's got mamas that are single, please tell them about me because I'm tired of staying home by myself. I want to do something. I want to travel. I like bowling. I like hiking. I like I like eating. Oh,
He likes eating. He leaves out of house and home.
Oh yeah, and I like going out, and I do. I like going off. I'm nervous too on this thing. I'm always been nervous. I wished I would have had a little drink, but I don't drink.
Make sure you have money because he likes to eat.
Yeah, I do like to eat. I like to go to the smorgasbord places, the all you can eat. But
Yeah, you've been walking up to the 478 place a lot.
oh yeah, I do that. I'm tired of, and I want you ladies to remember, and daughters too. If you got a mama that's sitting home and she ain't doing nothing, I want to start walking. Maybe, I'm 63. I'm ready. I'm ready. What do they call it? I'm ready to mango or tango or what? How do they call it? I think it's tango. Yeah, I'm mate.
Okay, well, he's ready to tango, girl.
Yeah.
So what's a celebrity you would like to meet?
There ain't really no celebrity I'd like to meet. They put their pets on just like I put mine, except women. But I don't really like to meet nobody. Not no more. I grew up listening to Elvis Presley, but I'm kind of over him now. You know,
Oh,
he ain't so. He wasn't so big and. He wasn't so hot. He could sing good, maybe good looking man, but that's about it. But I went to Memphis and seen his house, and it wasn't all that. So I got over that.
What's your biggest fear?
Dying.
That's everybody's.
Well, that's mine.
Well, you got to know where you're going for.
Well, I don't want to be sitting on the toilet, and I don't want to be driving. And Elvis, he fell in the floor in the toilet. They said he had 30 pounds of still in his body. I was reading it the other day, and that's pretty bad. He strained too, and I think he had a heart attack. Plus all them drugs he was taking, probably. Yeah. But I was reading he had 30 pounds of poop still in his body. Excuse my language again. I don't mean to make anybody sick or anything. So go ahead, next.
What advice would you give your younger self?
Ooh, I would have stayed out of trouble. Wouldn't have went with all the women. I can't tell you how many women I've been with, but I'm going to find the right one this time because I'm a good boy and I don't do nothing wrong no more. Hallelujah.
Except talk too much.
I don't talk too much. I just don't have nobody to talk to during the day. And I'm by myself, and I want to start traveling and doing something.
Where you want to travel to?
It don't matter if it's Lake Sinclair, but I want to get out, maybe go to Savannah and Florida a little bit. I've traveled everywhere else. It ain't all that hot. I mean, I do like New Mexico. They're casinos and everything.
You went to Florida with us, Destin.
Yeah.
Did you have fun?
I didn't go to Destin, remember?
Oh, was it Destin or Panama?
You need to keep up with that, okay?
Was it Panama? Yeah, it was Panama.
It was Panama. That was the day. Y'all didn't want to go with me to Captain Jack's. Y'all wanted to go to y'all's, what was the restaurant y'all went to? I went to Captain Jack's.
Pineapple
Willie's. Yeah, Willie's, yeah. But I went to Captain Jack's, all you could eat seafood.
Yeah. Ours was good too. So.
Yeah.
No complaints there. You walked the beach the whole night, walked the pier.
Yeah.
What is you like to eat and create some weird stuff because I came over to your house and you done fixed everything. What is the weirdest thing you've ever fixed?
Well, I wouldn't call it weird, but I love it, and I like to do this. I like to get a big long pork well, it's a steak. It's called a what is that called? Well, it's a beef loin. Yeah, beef loin. And I take it and I cut it in slices, and then I take each piece and I take it on a cutting board. And what I do is chop it up where it's really thin, and then I take it and put minced garlic, soy sauce, brown sugar, ginger, and then I let it marinate it for about 3 days, and you put it on the grill, and it is so good. I mean, it melts in your mouth. It's so tender, it'll fall apart. But I hadn't, man, prices on food, I can't afford it, you know. So,
What's the weirdest thing you've made to eat?
weirdest, I'm trying to think. I've had things mess up on me. I really don't.
You had some concoction when you lived down the road, and me and Mama walked in your place, and you had some kind of like weird chili that was changing colors on the stove, and
Chili.
it was disgusting.
I don't know, but I don't know anything that I've cooked. But I like to cook different things, and that's good. I put in my spaghetti sauce now. I cook it 8 hours, and I put grated carrots in it and garlic, and keep stirring it. It's so good to me like that. So,
He is a good cook, by the way. That was just a story I remember.
But I like to cook now. But my cooking's getting bad, sort of, because I've had several things that I can't get right no more. Even I watch my grandmother cook all the time. She made biscuits every day. Now I got her squash down pat. Her squash is really good with the green onions and the bacon grease. I got that down pat, but making biscuits is still hard for me.
Yeah.
But
the funniest lie you ever told?
I still tell them sort of. But the funniest ones, I'm trying to think the funniest ones. Oh, when I was a kid and my mom was outside, she was cleaning the carport, and she was taking Tide and sprinkling it on the carport, and she was cleaning up, scrubbing, and I locked her out. And she was knocking on the door, on the window, saying, "Let me in," and I wouldn't let her in. And all of a sudden, she goes down the street, which is there's a lady that dressed up like a witch. Her name was Betty, by the way. Oh, Betty come down and told me to open the door, and I opened the door right away. And they won't never forget the lady, because she turned me over her lap, and they'll never forget it either. I bit a big plug out of her titty. And they will never forget that, because even my mom passed away now, but they would talk about that, and the lady talked about that. But I was a bad kid when I was in about 7 too. So
That's where your son gets it.
mm,
But that wasn't really a lie. That was just a story.
yeah, that was a story. But I don't have no big lie, really. I hadn't told no big lie. I'm trying to think of some. You know, I really ain't had a big lie. When I was married, maybe I lied a little bit, but that's because I got cheated on too. God, I don't know. I can't think of no bad lie I've really done. I bet now things like this is what happened. Me and my stepfather, we'd get into fights when I was a teenager, and you know, he had his hand wrapped around my neck and stuff, and I bit his finger, and I bit it hard enough where it fell to the ground. And then my mother run in the house and put ice in a glass and rushed us both to the hospital, because my stepdaddy stabbed me. And then I bit his finger off, and we was both in the emergency room on one side of the curtain, I can remember. And then
Is that a true story?
that's a true story. And I went to jail on it. He didn't go to jail, but I was at their house. So, you know, it was my mom, and she was getting introduced to a man that was bringing liquor over there drinking, and he turned out a good stepfather, but I bit his finger off, and every time he'd be drinking, he'd look at his thumb like this, and he would like he'd want to beat my ass or something. Excuse my language again, but he'd want to beat my butt.
He probably did.
But
Bit his finger off.
that was it too. And then when my brother divorced his wife, you know, my brother's wife, we got together, and it was just weird. Me and her got a place, and then her kids started calling me Uncle Dad, and that was weird. And it was just my life's been, I could tell you so many stories. I could write a book; it'd be that thick,
I bet.
And I got a divorce from my wife, and then my wife met my cousin, which was your dad.
Mm-hmm.
So I could tell you some things about that too, but I don't want to get into that. That's a whole new.
Yeah, my dad used to say that you were butt wild.
Yeah.
That the whole side of the family was butt wild.
That's that much is, but I wanted them to remember before we. How many more minutes we got on this thing?
I have no idea. It looks like, is that 30 minutes?
Oh, we got 30 more minutes to do? Oh.
About 15.
Oh, well. I don't know if mine's going to be that long, but, you got more questions, so.
What's the funniest thing my brother, your son, has ever done?
What is it, brother? I don't know. He's a funny boy the way he does things. I really don't have anything that he does
that he's a spitting image of you and butt wild also.
Well, he might be. My problem when I was younger, women was my problem. I'm gonna tell the honest truth. Women was my problem. I fell in love with every one of them. I didn't want to just have one. I wanted to have them all. So that was my downfall. But I didn't regret. I mean, I've got older now. I don't go like that anymore. But any woman, if I had one woman, I'd want another one. I mean, that was my downfall. Plus drinking. I drunk a lot, but I don't drink now. I don't even touch it now.
You don't got the money to.
I quit smoking.
Well, you had to.
Yeah, because of that open heart surgery. But
yeah, you want to talk a little bit about that? You had the triple bypass.
Oh yeah, that was 2 years ago. Well, it'll be 2 years ago, September this coming, and it was like, I never did think I'd have that. And sure enough, I thought it was chili I was eating. So I got a lady friend to rush me to the emergency room. And when I got there, there it is. They told me I had a severe heart attack that I need to be rushed to Emory. So they get me to Emory, and I stay in there 21 days. And then my woman friend, she didn't want to care much for me. I had this girl that come up to me and that I used to live with was my ex-girlfriend, and she's 20-something years younger than me. She says, I'm taking you home, and you're going to stay home with me, and I'm going to take care of you. But she did for a while. She was pretty good. And I got my wild butt. I didn't want to stay there, and I was getting bored, so I moved back with my son, and then I stayed out there for a while, and then I wanted to get out from his house, and I'm out here in Byron now. So just living a straight life now. So you have to excuse me. I sprung my foot yesterday. Not yesterday, but about a week ago. I was walking and fell in a hole.
What's advice you would give to everyone?
Well, I wake up every morning now and I thank the Lord for waking up. And I did do a lot of bad things, but I would tell young people today to listen to your parents, get a good education. You're going to need it because these groceries are so damn high, and just live a straight life. And please, find you a good woman the first time. Don't just go out and marry no first time girl you think, because they're out there. You just got to get the right one. And right now I'm looking for the right one to be honest to be truthful to, and she can have half my check when, if I get with her. I'm telling the honest truth now, because I don't have nothing else to live for. I want me a good woman this time, I've had several good ones and several bad ones, and I'm the only one that deals with it. I have to deal with it. So go ahead and pop me another question,
I guess this has just been turned into a dating podcast.
It is really. And listen, I want you to get you a pencil right now and a piece of paper, and I want you to really do this. Remember, like I said, if you're a daughter out there and you got a mama sitting home alone, here's the number. You always laughing in my is it podcast or broadcast? It's podcast. Okay. Remember the number again. Please, I'm gonna say it one more time. I'm gonna be on another broadcast, so keep me in mind. And I wish you could ask me questions because I sure like to give answers. So go ahead. Don't be laughing no more. What you laughing about?
One last question. If you got arrested, what would everybody assume that it was for?
Probably DUI or stealing something. Because when I was a kid, I went to Ben Franklin's all the time before I would go to school, and I would steal some candy, boy. When I got to school, I had a locker full of candy, and my teacher called my parents saying, I don't know where he's getting all the candy, but they knew right before I'd go to school, I'd stop there at that Ben Franklin store. I was pocketing candy, but that was when I was a kid. But like I said, I'm older now. I know better. I got Jesus in my life, and nobody has to come up to me and say, hey, and talk to me about Jesus. I already pray every day. And, I have them come up to me, you have Jesus for your holy Savior. And, yeah, I got it already. So, but I thank you for having me. And I'd like to do another one when I'm not so nervous. I get so nervous, I'd have to get more comfortable.
Okay.
I'm already comfortable, but,
All right. Well, I'm in and out the podcast. This was a wild one of stories, and like I said, he was. People wanted him, so he's here. But don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell to notify when I post. Don't forget to follow me on my Wolf Girl Gang.
I don't know what all that is about. What is Wolfman? Let's ask you. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Where did you come up with Wolfman? Because is it Wolfman?
Wolf Girl Gang.
Wolf Girl Gang. I ain't never heard nothing like that. I thought you'd just come on podcast, whatever it is, and just say, hello, my name is so-and-so. What come up with the wolf thing? Wolf Girl, I mean.
Because I was obsessed with wolves, and I wanted to make a channel, and that just happened to be my name, was Wolf Girl Gang.
Just wanting to know. I imagine people would want to know too. So
yep. That's how I came up with it.
Well, thank everybody in your household for having me. And remember now, I don't have to say it another time, I don't guess. You got a single mom out there, tell her to call me.
Peace out, Wolf Gang.